And we've had over the last couple of months some pretty serious discussions regarding our future direction in tourism. Back in 2008, Council approved a 2-year extension with PAC, and that agreement will expire June 30th of this year. We've had a long history with PAC, some 11 or 12 years. It's ranged from about 113,000 at a low to back in 2004 was about 220,000 that was contributed from the city. They've been very successful in securing AOT, Arizona Office of Tourism grants, but by and large, I guess the single greatest contributor has been the city of Prescott. There have been some other regional partners, but nowhere near the level of funding, either percentage-wise of their bed tax or dollar amount. Again, the agreement will expire into June, so if there is, we do have options. We've had Bill Geist, marketing consultant, destination marketing organization type concepts. He came forward, gave council a presentation back in January, and there were some options. One, we could bring it in-house and cited some pros and cons of that approach. Also do another private organization, renew with PAC. I mean, there was a lot of different options that we could go. And there's different models out there in the community. I've met with both the city of Scottsdale and the city of Flagstaff. Both have 2 different models, but both are viewed as very successful destination marketing organizations. The city of Scottsdale, or the CVB, theirs originally started in the chamber. They had 2 employees, 2 or 3 employees, and a very small budget, and then as they evolved, they became sole and separate from the city as well as the chamber. Now they have 40-something employees and nearly a $10 million budget, but they do have a close relationship with the city. The city does allocate bed tax, not all of it, but a portion that would go to convention visitors information. The city of Flagstaff has it in-house. And again, I would say that they have a very successful program similar to Scottsdale. It's operated differently. It's funded a little differently. Flagstaff funds theirs through a bed, board, and booze tax. Their budget is about $1.2 million for Flagstaff, but there are other funding entities such as the arts and beautification, economic development that are funded through the city of Flagstaff and their approach. When we talk about tourism in Prescott, and I've heard some of you say that when the construction fell off, we realized that we probably had a lot more people here with jobs and construction than we probably realized. And the issue now is you're seeing more and more marketing efforts either through Facebook and Twitter and the different social medias. Everybody's wanting packages, or everybody's wanting a deal, and I think wherever it goes, we have to look at it differently, and I think be a little bit more creative. But it is a big business. Our funding is probably lower than most that are in this game. I think it is sometimes somewhat misleading on when we say we only fund tourism to the tune of $160,000 or whatever it may be that year. Well, I can assure you, when you start looking through our general fund, and other areas, we do, if you're going to consider Antelope Hills Golf Course part of economic development or tourism, we spend quite a bit of money out there. We spend money with special events, we spend money with the Elks, the lakes, and so forth. And those are all part of the tools in our toolkit for tourism. I think we're a little more unique than, say, Flagstaff or especially Scottsdale, in that when we talk about our tourism assets, we control a lot of those. Obviously not all, but Antelope Hills Golf Course is a big generator, especially during the summer months. You've got the Elks Opera House, and I don't think anybody in this room has an idea of what we're going to be seeing with Elks when the restoration is done this summer. I think it is going to be off the charts. So, you know, we're going to have to really approach that a little bit more, I guess, with a little bit more vigor than we have in the past. You know, bringing it, and I know there's been a lot of conversations out there, bringing it in-house, is that the government's role in what we should be doing? Well, that is a policy, I think a policy question of City Council. But again, we do control a lot of those assets, be it ball fields, be it our lakes, be it our ecotourism with trails. Those are huge draws for this community. So again, I think those are going to be some of the questions that council will be asked. You know, I think we're in a good position, but we do need some direction here pretty quickly. There's going to be funding. It's going to be an issue that's going to come out on how do we fund it? Is it just solely through the bed tax? Is it some type of a board and booze tax? Is it across the board sales tax increase? So again, you know, and the timing is awful. We're in some pretty challenging economic times. We've got a May 2010 election at the state level, and everybody's hurting. So, but this is an expensive game we're getting into. I don't have any plans to add staff. If it is brought in-house, we do have some upcoming retirements. We also have numerous positions that have been frozen in this year's budget that would merely be reallocated. So again, we've got a lot of sharp people on our staff who are already doing a lot as it relates to tourism. I think everybody knows Becky Garvin and her energy level with special events. Mick Finnick has been involved in this arena. You've got Kim Capon and Dave Beach in our public communications. So we've got a lot of people that we can rally around and help support these efforts. But again, I think, you know, today's session definitely will need public input. You know, I don't need direction specifically today from council, but very soon. Again, I know there's some transition that will occur as should we end up hiring a tourism director, manager, whatever that position's called. But you know, and I do have some specific recommendations that I've given to you. It may be better to hold off on that until we hear some comments from the public. But again, the agreement does it does coincide with our fiscal year, and you know, and we do need to make some pretty timely decisions. And as we get into our budget process, I think in May, when we talk to council, I think there'll be a lot of conversation there as to how it would be funded, should there be a definite change in direction. So with that, those brief comments, I just maybe turn it back to you, Mayor, and open it up for the council to ask some questions or comments.